Hello, I'm the Sterninator. Today we're going to be taking a look at a design that I've been playing with for a while. I wanted this idea of this ancient type Pokemon, this very old Pokemon, and I wanted it to be a water type because, man, do I struggle drawing fish. Not that I can't draw fish or that I have a hard time drawing fish, just that I feel like with fish Pokemon, I get so bored, and so that's just the truth. I wish it weren't so, but that's just the truth of it. So I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I thought, okay, how about like a cup or a vase? And we settled on this Greco-Roman style long-necked vase, and that idea of this Greek vase, this Roman vase, I one or the other, really inspired the evolutionary line of this Pokemon and a lot of the direction that we go to. I kept feeling like I was just recreating Sinistea, and I kind of felt okay with that. I felt like that was acceptable given the parameters of this design, that it's okay to kind of do that, to walk that line a little bit. I mean, how many Pokemon have we seen that feel similar to one another, or like they could be part of the same evolutionary line? I think of Pokemon like Luvdisc and, oh man, Alomomola? I think that's the name. That might be the actual fish. I'm not certain. But regardless, I felt okay with it. It was a design that I'm just having fun with, and you know, you'll always get those comments from people saying, oh, that looks so much like this, or it looks too much like that, and I just decided I was going to have fun with it. If you want to see those type of comments, feel free to find me on Instagram. We see them a lot. So here we have this Pokemon. It's kind of taking shape. We're getting this base structure to it and just going in and giving it some more of those details. Let me know what you think. I wanted it to have these like full cheek type of lines to it, type of shape to it. I felt like it was very much bordering on looking like a beard. Let me know. I did as much as I could to try and change that design while keeping the same basic structure, but I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Does it do a good job of looking like cheeks, or did I draw a bearded vase? Let me know. I wanted to get this idea of this vase overflowing with water. It got me thinking of the idea of, what is it? It's Vino de Vide? I could be wrong, but the idea of the Fountain of Youth. The idea of overflowing waters and this fountain meant to give life. And so I went in with that idea and this Greco-Roman inspired design and this vase that very much feels like Sinistea, and how do I draw it away from that? And I think that I landed somewhere I'm happy with this concept of this Pokemon Vase. Vase is a water ghost type, and it is a living vase. It's ancient. It's something that has existed for a long time. And I really liked that. I loved the direction. It kind of came out of left field, but it ended up being something I was really happy with. And so we jump into the evolution to this Pokemon, which ends up being this one. And I liked the idea. I always liked the idea that every generation has that almost too human Pokemon. And I wanted to jump on that trend. I wanted to hit those notes. And so we go from being this Greco-Roman vase to almost being Meg from the animated Hercules, being this kind of smug, knows who she is type of Pokemon. And it also hits that factor of being the human Pokemon, being the attractive Pokemon, along the same lines as Gardevoir or Lopunny. And I think that it really works here, turning that vase into this longer water holder type of structure. So we have that, and I thought, oh man, that hair, that water hair is such a pivotal point to the initial design. I need to expand on that. I need to make that bigger. I need to make it more of the structure here. And so I have it just overflowing over the rest of the design here, coming out of the top of this vase that is shaped like a lady and just pouring over the rest. It feels very vain, feels like there's a lot of vanity to this design, like she just loves her hair, is very proud of it. Oh, and I also, now that we're getting into this part here, I loved the idea of the marbling of these types of statues and of these types of pots, and so I put these almost like what felt random lines throughout, but had a little bit of a flow to it. And I found that really worked with incorporating almost the slit of the dress or of the toga. it all just kind of came together naturally. And it was something that I really, really dug the design of. This overflowing hair, this concept of this Greco-Roman inspired aesthetic, this marbling, it all just came together really, really well. I really enjoyed this design, and I'll say that being a person who's tried to work with this motif of the vaguely human Fakemon for a long time. I've tried to make it work with plants. If you look back on my Instagram, you'll see a potato-based version going off the concept of when someone is plain, you call them a potato, and evolving from there. I've done it with like seaweed and kelp, and weirdly enough, a vase was the one that it worked with. So we have Vidan. Vidan is a water ghost type as well. She is a siren of this region, the region of Costa West being very closely related to water, because I'm from the West Coast, I'm from California, and water is a big part of our culture. We have one of the biggest and most well-funded aquariums in the nation, so we're big on water, and I think this one really, really fits it. I was so glad to have this as a design that came to life, almost not by my own wants, but just kind of leapt onto the page. If you like what you're seeing, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I love seeing comments. I try to interact as much as I can. You can also find me at Instagram. That link's going to be down below. We have a Patreon now, so if you want to see these videos in their full, not sped up, you can find those at Patreon, as well as get a lot of these posts a day or so early. And also just kind of chit chat. I like the idea of being able to communicate with other fans of this Pokemon world. So feel free, check it out. Either way, I love talking to you guys, love being a part of this community, and I will see you in the next one.